Mainly I'll be talking about the artificial intelligence in banking and finance because I'm coming from a banking and finance industry and specifically for India. So, I mean, we are actually going through a revolutionary transformation. Okay, not only in India but across the globe. And I call it is from digitization to cognification. Okay, because digitization we all know, and I think it has become hygiene now. Okay, uh, but what cognification brings is basically that cognitive element, human cognitive element, into your digitization process. And that includes the enablers, technology enablers like AI, big data, machine learning, and other things coming up. So quantum computing is coming up. And of course, the other subsidiary technologies like blockchain and other things. So, and that is actually transforming the entire landscape uh, of not only banking and finance industry, but all the other domains also. And it includes the products, processes, and even strategies, because now all the decisions and strategies are now becoming data driven, right? With this technologies. So how to churn out the data and bring intelligence out of that. And with that, you actually frame your future roadmap and strategies. So that's what I call from digitization to cognification. And you can consider it cognification as the topmost layer of digitization. So now, what are the key drivers here? Okay, when we see the adoption, uh, and then the key drivers are basically you will see the enterprises are basically into data-driven business. Okay, so may it be bank, financial institution, or even a retail, or today you can talk about any domain or industry. So it is basically data driven, and when it comes to data driven kind of business, so probably you will not be able to avoid AI or ignore AI. Okay, because AI is a very powerful technology which is going to give you a lot of insights from your data and also a lot of competitive advantages over your competitors. Okay, so if you avoid AI, probably it will be very difficult. May not be today, but in future to sustain in this high competition. Okay, so this is the number one driver you can say. Okay, which is actually driving towards this huge adoption of AI into almost all the sectors. Okay, and all the domains. Second thing is, I mean, if you talk about banking and finance specifically, banks knows their customer more intimately than any other business, right? And same goes for any digital business today. Okay, you have all the data of the customer. So you actually have the 360-degree view of the customer because you can collect data from different sources. It's personal data, demographic data, financial data, transactional data, even social data. Okay, and you can churn out that data and actually make very relevant recommendations of your products and services to that customer. So that's where the hyper personalization comes into picture. Okay, so this is possible using a technology like AI. Okay, so it gives you immense power in terms of doing that, which has not been possible to do it through a conventional approach or conventional technology. So these are the main key drivers, and that's what we have been seeing in India also. That's why almost today you go to any industry. Okay, so they are basically implementing AI, or they are on the verge of implementing AI. So some of them probably are already in the already in the mature state, and some have already started their journey. Okay, so and very specifically, if we talk about the financial sector, okay, the banks and financial institutions, so how their digital journey goes, okay. So I think their digital journey can be actually divided into four distinct towers, okay. And I'll discuss it a little bit more. Okay, so first we start with any kind of, so if you look at many of the cooperative banks or many of the banks in the semi-urban area, who have just started their digital journey. So first thing that they will be requiring is basically the digital skeleton, okay, of their enterprise or their organization. Okay, so they have to build a data ecosystem for that. So probably a data warehouse, a data lake kind of a thing. Okay, so they will also have to explore the what do you call the cloud options, okay, because it is cheaper and many of the things are already inbuilt. You can just use it. Okay, you need to build your API economy so that actually you can connect to the different systems. So that is another area. And also many of your backend processes need to be automated, need to be uh, basically modernized. Okay, so that you can actually make your front end much more agile, and you can actually provide customer experience. Okay, for example, if a bank wants to deliver their products and services to the end channel, so in that case, they will also have to upgrade their backend processes so that it can support the front end part. So if you are promising that you will be giving a loan in a couple of hours, say 24 hours, then your backend system should also be efficient enough to support that. Okay, so building digital skeleton is very, very important. And that's what I've been seeing many of the banks here. They are actually started their journey and in a right manner, and they have started building their digital skeleton. Once you have got the digital skeleton ready, then basically you can think of digital reach. That means how you can reach out to the much of the customers through your digital channels. Okay, it could be your social banking, it could be banking through WhatsApp, banking through voice devices. So now it's a paradigm shift, right? Like banks are going, I mean, traditionally it is like the customer used to go to the banks. So now you see like actually banks are following the customers. Okay? So they are going into the social media channels where the customers are available. They are going into the other channels, okay, where actually customers are available and they can offer their banking services there. So now you will have to enhance your digital reach. Okay, and then it comes basically the digital range. Okay, the range of services, products and services that you can render into your digital channels, whether it is net banking, mobile banking, WhatsApp banking, chatbot banking, kind of thing. So, but you need to also expand, okay, what are the different products and services that you can digitize? Because I mean, converting your physical services. So for example, till now you have been giving everything, the loans and all those things in a physical manner. So now how to digitize this kind of products? Okay, so this is also a challenging area. And here actually banks are working in a rigorous manner to basically enhance their digital products and services so that they can actually render those into the digital channels. So this is basically digital range. And then the last part is, or the last mile, you can say, is the digital experience. So wherein actually you have got all the experiences that you can provide. So here hyper personalization comes into picture, all kind of intelligent recommendations comes into picture, how you know the customer 360 degree and how you do all kind of product recommendations and all other things. And also enhance customer experience in terms of reducing the lead time. Okay, so if you are giving a loan, okay, how can you actually speedize the dispersal of the loan? Okay, so those experiences comes into picture. So this you can say is the more or less journey that the Indian banks are now going through. Many of them are in a advanced stage, but there are a lot of rural banks and also community banks or cooperative banks we call here today. They're still in the process of this journey. So now the technology areas which are touching this transformation are, of course, it starts with the big data and analytics, because I mean that has given the biggest boost to the entire ecosystem, because without the big data and the analytics, actually AI is not possible, right? I mean, you require a big data ecosystem or a data lake kind of a thing. And then, of course, AI, ML, NLP, and all other things are there. Now people are also more and more moving towards deep learning kind of things with neural networks. RPA is one thing that is also slowly and gradually becoming hygiene. So most of the enterprises or organizations in India, what I can see is probably they have implemented RPA somewhere to automate their business processes. Okay, most of the big enterprises, I would say, right? Blockchain and crypto is coming in a very big way because when we talk about a digital economy, okay, so blockchain plays a major role. And today, if you look at the metaverse and all other concepts are coming but also the digital currency is getting more and more traction, not only in the enterprises but also in the government arena. So these two areas are also picking up in India specifically that I can see. A couple of months back, India government in their union budget actually they have declared and uh, given a green signal for this crypto and digital currencies, right? And also 5G coming into the picture. So this will get a great boost here. Now turning your AI into actually generating the ROI, okay, is very important because I think the investment that you do in AI, okay, that needs to be justified with the ROI that we are getting. And if you look at the entire landscape of financial sector, BFSI sector, basically, this can be segregated into three major areas. Okay, so the capital market, consumer banking, and the insurance are the areas wherein I can say the most of the AI use cases or applications are playing. So some of the known use cases are, of course, fraud detection is one area. Almost all the banks in India have implemented some kind of AI solution right now because the traditional uh, fraud detection mechanisms that used to be there in most of the banks, the rule-based and a very big rule engine kind of thing, are not working today because these fraudsters are also evolving and they are also coming up with newer and newer techniques for doing this fraudulent kind of activities because this is a huge enterprise today, the cyber crime and the fraud and all those things, right? So it is organized crime and it is a huge industry. So a lot of resources are happening at that end also. Now to cater to that kind of a demand, actually you need an AI kind of a system to do fraud detection. Similarly, in most of the banks, the credit risk assessment that we do before giving any kind of financial assistance to an individual or an entity, it is being completely AI machine learning driven, right? High-speed trading, cyber on the cybersecurity area. I will not go into the detail kind of thing. Even anti-money laundering. Okay, so this is an area where AI works fantastically. On the consumer banking side, basically all kind of chatbots, digital channels, recommendations, hyper personalization of products and offers are happening in the insurance area. Also, similar kind of things are happening in a big way. So these are some of the use cases you will be seeing most of the banks today in India. So in that way, I think India is quite in a very good shape in terms of implementation of this financial technologies in many of the banks. Of course, some of the banks are still in the process, but most of the banks you see who are actually dealing with urban customers or the millennial customers have almost this kind of AI-powered applications available in their ecosystem. So now in our company in Allied Digital also we have created a AI platform, which is a versatile platform basically. So right now we have given it for the conversational AI part of it in the banking. So wherein like 50 plus banking services has been rendered into different channels. So these are all the banking transactions are inbuilt into that. So you need not, as a bank, you need not have to build any kind of things. So if you want to say probably render services like send money, pay your utility bills, or book a fixed deposit, book a recurrent deposit, or manage your nominees. So this kind of things, you may not have to build those kind of use cases because most of the platforms that are available today in the market are technology platforms, which will provide you a technology backbone wherein you need to build your domain use cases, right? So in our case, it is different. It is like the both technology and the domain club together into one platform. And for a small or medium-sized bank, they did not have to think of anything. Just need to integrate the entire platform into their existing IT ecosystem, and the platform will be ready. Okay, so it is omni-channel. It is available in all. It is voice enabled, multilingual. So almost all the Indian languages are are supported. It can integrate with all your core banking system, your LMS system, loan management system, or card system kind of thing. And also a lot of analytics that the platform gives, not only to the banks, but as a customer, you can actually avail a lot of analytics. You can draw a lot of analytics today in our platform, because as a customer, as a banking customer, you also require a lot of analytics, which will be in your fingertips. Either you can give a voice command, or you can write a single line of single normal one-liner, and you get all the analytics in a visual format, like a graph, chart, or kind of thing. What we have tried is, we have tried to actually augment that complexity and bring it to kind of a Google search. Okay, you search in Google and you will get all your financial details with all kind of analytics, whether it is the predictive analytics or prescriptive analytics into that. So there are other applications also which are very popular today, and we are also working on that. So cognitive document processing, because most of the enterprises are document intensive. Okay, so they used to generate a lot of documents, and most of these documents goes into the archive, right? But getting the right information out from the document is a challenging task today. Although there are some solutions available in the market, but those are very specific to a particular domain. Okay, it is not a domain agnostic kind of solutions. What we try to build is, we try to build a domain agnostic kind of a very comprehensive cognitive document processing software, wherein you give the document and it will actually bring out all the relevant information that you require from that particular document. So this is one area. Similarly, we have done some work on the email analytics solutions, wherein like today, if you look at any enterprise, or for example, even a bank, okay, so their common email box is bombarded with millions of emails every morning, right? And the time to respond to those emails is basically 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. Okay, but today, if you see, the customers are impatient, right? So they want immediate answers. So that's where this particular channel of communication through email is still lagging in many of the organizations, right? So we thought like how we can actually transform this particular channel, because this is also one common mode of communication with the customer service. Okay, so with this email analytics solution, actually this solution can look into the millions of emails and group it into different categories. It can actually understand the content of the email, whether it is an escalation email or a follow-up email, or if this the sender of the email is looking for some kind of a information. So, and accordingly, we can actually automate this kind of, if it is an escalation email, then straightly it goes into the human email team, and they can respond to those emails immediately. If it is kind of a follow-up category, then you can have some automated RPA, robotic process automation kind of a thing, and you can auto respond with relevant. It is not a dumb kind of a what do you call answering, but with relevant information. Similarly, if the user is looking, or sender is looking for some kind of information, okay, so probably a claim form, okay, for his insurance or something like that. So you can automate that using some kind of automation techniques. And this is a very nice solution, I would say, because as I told you, it is not only the front end part of the applications, because almost every organization is working on the front end to make their front end very agile, okay, and give that customer experience. But at the same time, most of the organization fails when their backend systems are not, or the backend work flows or the processes are not agile, right? Because it should be compatible with the front end kind of a thing. Then only whatever you are promising to your customers, you will be able to deliver that. And that's where this kind of application helps a lot. Some other applications, I think most probably many of you are already aware of this kind of application, but these are also getting popular in India, and many of the banks has already implemented those in their ATMs or into their lockers or into their branches, like the facial stress analysis, or like smart identity and security management, so that I mean any person entering with some kind of weapon or some illegal intrusion into your ATM or into your locker, or if somebody is trying to destroy your ATM, so it can automatically detect and it automatically send out the notification to your what do you call the admin people or the security personnel. So this is also getting a lot of traction. So these applications are all powered by computer vision, and I think I mean in most of the countries now these are very. So with that, I would like to conclude my presentation. I would be happy to answer any questions.